I went to the zoo a short while ago. That's something of a departure for me, because I don't like zoos. I won't go into that. I know that zoos are very popular places and that many people enjoy them. And the zoo we have in this city is supposed to be a good one. If I think too much about it, which is to say, even a very little, zoos depress me. So when I do go, which might be once in 20 years, I'm careful to leave my brain in the car. In spite of that, my senses remain, and the evidence they present does not cheer me. I try to focus on the other humans, mostly families with young children, who appear to be happy and having a good time. The animals in the zoo, especially the larger ones, look to be listless and lethargic. Their movements are very repetitive, often to the point of being obsessive. I conclude that that is due to the confinement. Living in captivity must be difficult. There have been some improvements in recent years. Some money has been spent, and basic steel bar cement floor cages have been replaced by larger habitats, or really micro-habitats. A perch or two, a pool, a rock, usually a fake rock, fashioned out of cement. But an attempt has been made to mimic some tiny part of the animal's natural environment. The animals are very well taken care of. Too well, of course. That's part of the problem, my problem anyway. In the wild, to the extent that the wild exists now, anywhere, the greatest part of any animal's existence is in obtaining food. Existence is survival, and survival is existence. In the zoo, food is provided for the animals, so there is nothing left for them to do. They have no space in which to do anything, except shuffle around or rock back and forth, and they have nothing to do except lounge around, eat, defecate, and sometimes look at the people looking at them. I don't know if animals need privacy, but they don't get much of it in a zoo. This last time I was at the zoo, one of the people I was with said, "I wonder what the effect of confinement has on their mentality." Something like that. I didn't answer. I had mostly kept my objections in the physical realm, but it seemed their mental health, if you will, would be similarly affected, which is to say, if you give it some thought, the least little bit, that all of these animals would be crazy, as in insane, because of the wholly constricted and unnatural lives they are forced to lead. The immediate human comparison is to prisoners in a jail. But our civilization, our so-called advanced civilization, has created an entirely new dynamic. It is this: for the first time in history, I think, the great majority of people do not face the problem of obtaining food. It is provided for them. All they have to do is shop. Relieved of this burden, if we want to call it that, we have turned to other pursuits, which are, essentially, fairly complicated ways to kill time. The more I thought about it, which wasn't much, believe me, my brain was still back in the car, the more I came to see the people in our nation in exactly the same situation as the animals in the zoo. Like the larger ones, we are, for the most part, listless and lethargic, definitely out of shape and overweight. We live in micro-habitats. We are safe and taken care of, but there really isn't much point to most of what we do. Existing is no longer a matter of survival. We have it easy, too easy. The survival component of our lives has been replaced by shopping. For the rest of it, it's mostly repetitive movements, shuffling around, rocking back and forth, and staring at things for extended periods of time. We've gone and turned our world into a zoo. I don't mean that metaphorically. We have surrendered our freedom and privacy for safety and complete dependency. We are no longer natives. We are captives. What effect does this have on us? We're all insane, but we don't know any better, so we persist, shopping, breeding in captivity, and sometimes trying to remember what life was like before we built the zoo.